Hello, everybody on YouTube. This is about marijuana facts. And the reason why I put it in the description, disinformation, is because when you type up marijuana into Google, you're going to get loads and loads of disinformation about the plant, about the uses of the plant, and how people smoke it. You're going to get all sorts of propaganda and really misinformation. I call it disinformation. Very similar. So a lot of people, they're not looking at the true facts. The people have done the research into this. Okay, you look at the Drug-Free America Foundation. These are the ones who are trying to say pot. Here we go. The use of marijuana can produce adverse physical, mental, emotional, and behavior changes, and contrary to popular belief, it can be addictive. That is a false statement. Do not believe in these websites that you go to, like these Drug-Free America, alright? You want to go to websites like this, Marijuana Facts, the history of marijuana, you click here. I think this website right here is one of the best ones I found. There's two of them that I'm going to share with you. I'm going to read off these facts. First and foremost, question number one, what is marijuana? Marijuana refers to dried flowers and leaves of some strains of cannabis hemp plant which contains various quantities of the non-narcotic chemical THC in various quantities. When smoked or eaten, it produces the feeling of being high, which lasts a few hours. Different strains of this herb produce their own essential effects, ranging from sedative to stimulant. Number two, who uses marijuana? Practically a great majority of our population. Most people don't want to say they're using it, and they stay in the closet sometimes. Only because the drug itself, well, we can't really call it a drug, but then again, everything is a drug out there. Only because it's not legalized yet. Alright? I'm not going to read that one off. Let's go to the third one. How long have people been using marijuana? Since biblical times. This practice was widely accepted in Canada and the U.S., as well until the orchestrated campaign of the 1930s led to disinformation, public hysteria. Okay, most parents out there, listen to this. Public hysteria, and the first laws against using it. Number four, is marijuana addictive? Like I said before, it's false. No, it is not addictive. Most users are moderate consumers who only smoke it socially, occasionally to relax. We now know that 10% of our population have addiction personalities, and they are no more nor less likely to abuse cannabis than anything else. On a relative scale, marijuana is less habit-forming than either sugar or chocolate. Sociologists report a general pattern of marijuana usage that peaks in the early adult years, followed by a period of leveling off and finally a gradual reduction in use. Number five, has anyone ever died from smoking marijuana? No, not even one person. American Judge Francis Young studied all the evidence in 198 and ruled that marijuana is far safer than many foods we commonly consume. That is actually true. The federal agency NIDA says that autopsies show 75 people per year are high on marijuana when they die. But this does not mean marijuana is a factor in any of their deaths. Here's some statistics for you. Deaths per year from tobacco. 340,000 to 400,000. Well, it says 395, but it's around 400,000 today. Alcohol, 125,000 plus, not including the accidents and other behaviors towards alcohol. Drug overdose, prescription drug overdose, 14 to 27,000. Drug overdose illegal, 3,800 to 5,200. Marijuana, 0. Does it lead to hard drugs? So does it lead to any kind of other big drugs out there like cocaine, heroin? No. Although people who abuse drugs often smoke marijuana also, the National Academy of Science reports that legal drugs for adults such as alcohol and tobacco, precede the use of all illicit drugs. Tobacco is known as the gateway drug. That's actually kind of true because everyone that I know who smokes cigarettes usually drinks alcohol. Okay, number 7. Does it cause violence? No. Just the opposite. The only crime most marijuana users commit is using marijuana. The U.S.'s Schaefer Commission report was the most comprehensive study ever undertaken on the subject. It found that marijuana smokers tend to be underrepresented in violence and in crime, especially when compared to users of alcohol, amphetamines, and barbiturates. Sorry if I can't pronounce that word. The simple fact is that marijuana does not change your basic personality. The American federal government reports that over 70 million Americans have smoked it, probably including some of the nicest people you know. In fact, that's true. I've known people who are very kind and they smoke marijuana in my life. So, moving to number 8. How does marijuana affect your health? Answer. A Harvard University medical team in 1987 found that dangerous physical reactions to marijuana are almost unknown. All smoke is unhealthy, but marijuana is safer than tobacco, and people tend to smoke less of it. That risk can be eliminated by eating the plant instead of smoking it, or it can be reduced by using water pipes to smoke smaller amounts of more potent marijuana. Moreover, cannabis is a proven medicinal herb with hundreds of modern therapeutic uses in treating ailments from stress to arthritis, to glaucoma, to asthma, to cancer therapy, to AIDS, and more. Number 9. What about all those scary stories and reports? Most sensational claims of health risks cite no studies or sources at all. Others rely on a handful of inconclusive or flawed reports. After 20 years of study, the California Attorney General's panel concluded in 1989 that an objective consideration shows that marijuana is responsible for less damage to the individual and society than alcohol and cigarettes. Okay, what should we do? Question. American and Canadian taxpayers have funded many studies on this very point, and every dependent government panel on marijuana has opposed the jailing of marijuana smokers. The Canadian Police Chiefs Association are even fighting for decriminalization. Most have urged lawmakers to re-legalize and tax use of this herb by responsible adults, with age limits and regulations like those on alcohol and tobacco. Tell your elected leaders to free up our police and resources to combat violent crime and to honor our national pledge and commitment to liberty and justice for all by ending marijuana prohibition. The worst thing about marijuana prohibition is what the government does to